Welcome back to week 3 of the Wellness Revolution. Today, we're jumping right into this explainer to unpack what is arguably the hidden mastermind of human biology, your gut health. I mean, think about it. If you've ever had a gut feeling about a big decision or literally felt butterflies in your stomach when you were nervous, you already intuitively know that your stomach is doing a whole lot more than just digesting your lunch. So, we're going to look closely at the science, pulled straight from the Wellness Revolution's extensive resources, to figure out exactly how this incredible system actually works.
Okay, here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. 1. The engine of life. 2. Meet your microbiome. 3. The second brain. 4. The fire inside. And finally, 5. The wellness revolution. Let's dive in.
Check out this quote. Gut health is the nexus of our relationship with our world. That's a pretty powerful thought, right? Your gut is actually the main interface where the outside environment physically meets your internal biology. You can think of it like your body's preliminary database. Every single time you eat, your gut is taking in all these raw materials, cataloging nutritional information, and making these split-second critical decisions about what to keep to sustain life and what to just toss out. Doing that requires memory, intelligence, and some incredible biological discrimination.
Part 1. The engine of life, the physical journey. Before we can even get into all the mind-bending connections to your brain, we really have to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of the physical digestive system. 30 feet? That is the mind-boggling length of your gastrointestinal tract, stretching all the way from your mouth down to the rectum. But here is the absolute craziest part to me. This massive, intricate pathway is lined and guarded by a barrier that is literally only a single layer of cells thick. Held together by these tiny, tight junctions, this microscopic wall is the only thing separating your clean, sterile bloodstream from the chaotic, bacteria-filled world of the food you're eating. It's basically the ultimate biological security checkpoint.
And this physical journey of digestion? It's essentially a masterclass in transformation. Think of it like a highly efficient, microscopic disassembly line. It kicks off in the mouth and esophagus and moves down into the stomach, where this intense cocktail of enzymes and powerful acids just goes to work, dismantling complex food molecules. By the time that mixture hits the small intestine, it has been broken down into simple, usable forms. And this is where the real magic happens. Essential vitamins, minerals, proteins, and fats are absorbed right through those super delicate wells into your bloodstream, nourishing literally every part of your body. Finally, the large intestine handles the waste, wrapping up a perfectly efficient closed-loop system.
Part 2. Meet your microbiome, the microscopic community.
Now, your gut isn't just some empty, hollow tube. If we zoom in super close, we find a thriving, bustling community of microorganisms actually living inside the gastrointestinal tract. Welcome to your gut microbiome. It's this incredibly dense, dynamic system made up of bacteria, viruses, and fungi. Now, I know when we hear the word bacteria, we instantly think of getting sick, but we actually need to completely reframe that idea. We exist in a highly beneficial, symbiotic relationship with these organisms. We're the host, and they are our incredibly valued vital residents. These microscopic residents are literally the guardians of that fragile, single-cell gut lining we just talked about. They are so incredibly busy down there. They're synthesizing essential vitamins, detoxifying harmful substances, and extracting nutrients. But maybe most crucially, they regulate our immune response. In fact, a massive, substantial portion of our entire immune system is nestled right here in the gut, orchestrated every single day by these friendly microbes. It is absolutely brilliant. So they protect our immune system and they digest our food. But let me ask you something a bit more provocative. Do you think your stomach can actually control your mind? Part 3. The second brain, the gut-brain axis. I know it totally sounds like science fiction, but it is pure biological fact. The gut houses a staggering 100 million neurons. To put that into perspective for a second, that actually outnumbers the neurons found in your spinal cord and your peripheral nervous system combined. No way, right? But this huge, extensive web of nerve tissue means your gut isn't just mindlessly processing your food. It is actively thinking, reacting, and communicating directly with the brain nestled inside your head. And listen, this is not a one-way street where the brain is just barking orders at the stomach. Not at all. It is a deeply complex, bidirectional flow of information. Using pathways like the vagus nerve and the enteric nervous system, the gut and the brain are locked in this intricate tango. Together, they actually shape brain neuroplasticity, which, if you remember, is your brain's ability to adapt and rewire itself.
They influence cognitive function, dictating how we learn and remember, and they directly manage our body's stress response and how we cope with things. Now look at this number, 90%. An astonishing 90% of the body's serotonin, that absolutely crucial neurotransmitter responsible for feelings of well-being and happiness, resides not up in your head, but way down in your gastrointestinal tract. And it doesn't even stop with serotonin. Members of the gut microbiome have this amazing ability to forge a bridge of communication with the brain using the brain's very own language. They literally craft silent messengers that dictate how we feel every single day. You've got GABA quietly regulating our mood and keeping us calm. There is dopamine driving our sense of motivation and reward. They influence norepinephrine, which dictates our anxiety and stress levels, and acetylcholine, which sharpens our cognitive function. Researchers have directly linked imbalances in this microbial ecosystem to mood disorders, severe depression, anxiety, and even things like schizophrenia. Your mental health is inextricably linked to your gut health, period. Part 4. The fire inside. Dysbiosis and inflammation. So what exactly happens when this delicate internal symphony falls completely out of tune? Well, you enter a state known as dysbiosis, and its main weapon is inflammation. Now, normal inflammation is totally a lifesaver. You get a splinter or catch a bug, your blood vessels widen, white blood cells rush in, the area gets red and warm, the threat gets neutralized, and then the inflammation tapers off. It heals you. But chronic inflammation is a whole different beast. When the gut gets deeply imbalanced, the inflammatory response gets stuck in this elevated state. It becomes like a persistent low-level fire just smoldering within the body. And because it doesn't have an external enemy to fight anymore, the immune system gets confused and mistakenly starts attacking the body's own healthy organs and tissues. It becomes like a self-destructive infection. The fallout of this biological-friendly fire is honestly catastrophic. Chronic inflammation driven by the gut is a major contributing factor to a terrifying array of autoimmune and neurological conditions. We're talking physical ailments like multiple sclerosis, Crohn's, and rheumatoid arthritis, all the way to severe mental and cognitive conditions like bipolar disorder, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's disease. When the body gets locked in an inflammatory state of self-attack, the damage is truly systematic. Part 5. The Wellness Revolution. Fighting Back. But hey, there is some incredibly good news here. We are not just helpless passengers in this process. We're seeing a massive global research ecosystem aggressively fighting back, laying down the foundation for the future of global medicine. From the Human Microbiome Project in the US, to the Metacartis Consortium over in Europe exploring cardiometabolic disease, all the way to the Australian Microbiome Initiative. The brightest scientific minds on Earth are dedicating vast resources to validating the power of the gut, deciphering this second brain, and proving that targeted therapies can genuinely reshape our health from the inside out. So, why does all of this matter to you today? Well, because you can start applying this science right now. The Wellness Revolution really emphasizes that you can actively mitigate that chronic inflammation and optimize your second brain through actionable, thoughtful daily choices. Implementing an anti-inflammatory diet, getting regular physical exercise, actively managing your stress levels, and prioritizing adequate sleep. Listen, these aren't just fluffy wellness buzzwords. They are direct biological tools that you can use to put out that fire inside and cultivate a thriving, perfectly balanced microbial ecosystem. Which leaves us with this final, absolutely crucial question. If your gut truly is the hidden mastermind conducting the symphony of your physical and mental health, what instructions are you feeding it today? Because every single meal you eat, every hour of sleep you get, and every moment of stress you manage is a direct conversation with your microbiome. Let's make sure it's a good one. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I highly encourage you to look at your daily habits through this fascinating new lens. Keep learning, keep exploring, and definitely take care of that second brain.